Market up that time. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, so it's market update time. Okay, so what we saw yesterday, let's start with the Dow Jones first. We'll go with the Dow Jones first because I want to show you what I'm seeing on that chart there. So if my software's playing up today. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm trying to load so much data from it. Come on. So on the Dow Jones, what we saw is that the Dow Jones, we actually had a little update. We're basically in this bit of a channel formation here. But I'm still not forgetting about that head and shoulder formation we are in right now. This head, left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. And as I said before, that the Dow Jones is actually the most weakest out of the whole lot of them. And we actually broke down. And you can see that if I draw a trend line from there to there, wrong one. Basically, you can see how we totally broke out of that sort of triangle pattern through there. If you notice that point through there, let's just draw that up through there. Yes, you can see how we broke out of that. We now pulling down. So this little up move where we saw today, I'm not really buying it too much. We may get a little bit more up move through here, but all I see is just to continue just to slowly step down, because I think what's going to happen is we may get another. We may get a little up. We may get a little up move. We may get a little maybe 0.5% run. We're going to start hitting these areas of resistance, and then I think we're likely to reject. So we may get that, or we may start turning around tomorrow. So looking on the Dow Jones is obviously still very, very weak. We obviously had a 1% update with okay volume as well too. It's basically been pretty steady for the last 4 days. So, but the Dow Jones is definitely starting to show the weakness, as I was saying before, back here as well too. So looking on the S&P 500, we can actually see that it actually had an update as well too. But you can see that again we're in this overall head and shoulder formation, and I'm not really buying that there as well too. Same with the Nasdaq, a little bit more volume than yesterday and than Friday's action, and also the Russell had a little up move as well too. So if I actually bring up and I show you things like the SPY, which also gives you a good gauge of the volume. I like using that because the volume is really good. You can see here on the SPY that not much volume actually came into the SPY today. We had a lot up move, but not much volume came into it. And also, if you look at the QQQ, which is also basically the Nasdaq ETF, you can see the same thing at the QQQ, which follows along with the Nasdaq really closely. You can see how that's actually been very, very close to, or should I say, very, very small volume through there. So that's basically what I do see there, guys. Looking on things like the Nasdaq and should I say silver and gold. That if you look at silver is getting very, very close to getting to that turning point. It may be we're actually starting to get that turning point right now on the stochastic. So we may get, if we get a little up move from here, we may want to have another run to the high side. So I'm waiting for a bit more confirmation than what I'm seeing right now. But I do see silver taking off really soon. So it looks like it's all playing into everything that I've been seeing here. So if I look at things like let me go have a look at the UUP. UUP was one of them that I'm looking at. We can see obviously that this market's been stepping down. Look where the stochastics are. I like this nicely step down, and then got the stochastics above there. That tells me we're likely to get ready for another probably drop to the downside. And using things like obviously that's oil. But if I show you things like this FXA, which is obviously is very connected to the Australian dollar, And you can see this here, it's had this major run up to the high here, major run down. If I bring up the weekly chart, then you can see that this market's had a big run up, a big run down. We're at this level of support now, so I'm expecting the Aussie dollar to start rising and the US dollar to start dropping, looking through there. So there's just a quick market update, guys. I do see that this Dow Jones, once again, Dow Jones overall, if I bring up this chart through here, Dow Jones overall, I think we're going to start even if we get a little bit more up move tonight, but I think later on this week, I think maybe from tomorrow, we don't know. But I think we're likely to start rolling over right now, and then start to see some big moves on the downside. So we may get a little up move tonight, and then a breakdown. I don't see this breaking, completely pushing up and breaking new highs with the Dow Jones. Now, one thing I did what I show you, and I noticed looking on the QQQ, which is obviously once again following the Nasdaq really well, was this line chart here. And I want to show you something that was very similar to 2008. Now let's have a look at this here. You can see that, and let me just I want to bring up a line here. So you can see back here in 2008, we ran up, had a stair step, and we ran up, and then came down, and then ran up through there, okay? So if you look at this overall pattern through here, you can see that obviously we ran up, now we had this run up through here. You can see we had a little dip through there, but just bear with me. I'm looking at, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So very similar things happen. So you can see we actually had this run down, and you can see we had this little run up through there. See how that was a little run up through there? And then guess what happened? We had a breakdown, and we had a breakdown. What did we create here? We created a lower trough. What did we create here? We created a lower trough. What actually happened up here? We ran up, and we created like a double top formation. What actually happened up here? We created a double top formation. And then what happened? It broke down a little bit. And then it had a little rally up. Now this is the weekly chart. It had a little rally up, and then we broke down. Where are we at now? We actually broke down. We're having a little rally up. So what comes next? As you can see, right, this is almost identical. Now again, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So you have very similar patterns that show up in the markets. So as you can see, right, we actually had, and if I bring that off, you can see that almost identical. You see that little double top and then a breakdown, and then a little double top and a breakdown. Now it's hooking up. Guess what comes next? We may have a little bit more upside on the Nasdaq, but what comes next is the big move down over probably 2-3 weeks of big downward movement. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. History doesn't repeat itself, but as I said before, it looks very almost identical with what I'm seeing there in the overall market. So that's actually a very bearish sign overall, guys, by looking at that. And yeah, so anyway, guys, that's my little market update for you. Hope you enjoyed it. That's in tune. Again, guys, I'm staying in tune with what I've been saying for the whole month, and probably for the last couple months, that down, the prices are down for today, or should I say for this month of May. Hey, it's John Howell here, and thanks so much for watching my video. You see, I'm putting out daily videos and education on helping you learning the art of successful trading. So click on the subscribe button to keep up to date with every video I do. Also, check out my story video, $250,000 in debt, cancer, overweight, family passing away, lived on the streets, and more, and how I overcome it and now thriving through my life. This is here to motivate you, so click on that image to watch my video. And lastly, if you're struggling with your trading, then you need to see my latest webinar where I'm sharing with you an amazing strategy that allows you to generate an income without getting the direction right. So click on that image on this page to register for my next free webinar. This is John Howell here. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.